What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today I kind of want to talk about some frustration I have right now with Idle Heroes in the early game. As you guys know, I love starting new game accounts. However, it's been like 8-9 months since I started my last one, and there's been a change to how the early game feels. Now, again, we didn't start on a huge event. We do have Christmas coming up. But I will say the progression in the early game is so much slower in certain ways. So as you guys see here, you'll notice we have Destiny transition materials. We have tons of Stellar Shards. Beyond that, we literally already have like some little mini Core of Origin chests and all this. Like, we got a lot of resources. We got sublimation. We got tons of these little things that are adding up very, very quickly. However, the one thing we don't get anymore, hero chests. Like, this is one of the old chests right here, which I guess if you're going for like an Eloise build, still counts. But if you're going for newer heroes, this game drastically cut down on the amount of not only those, but like even just the sheer number of puppets that you're getting in game. Yes, you get some from like Celestial Island. I've been keeping up with it. I have to do my adventure here today. See if we need a repair. Not quite yet. This seems like this is one of the few and only reliable ways nowadays to get puppets. Back in the day, every big event had puppets, had 5-star hero copies, had all these different things to help your progression. But I guess as they see the majority of the player base move away from the early game, they're not as interested in giving resources. The downside of that is the early game definitely feels much worse for the average player, and even for someone who's planning way ahead. For me, you don't get that instant gratification at all. Like, you can't use any of your power on your account whatsoever. Like, I just have a ton of resources that I just have to sit there and wait. Yes, it's cool that I have all these Stellar Shards, but you might actually want to pick some different chests in the event and not go for quote unquote the important, most optimal way of doing things, because gonna feel a little bad. Now, right now we're back up to 80 heroic scrolls. We should get like 300-ish from the event. My hope is that we'll be able to get 2 more copies of Norton Hague to at least get him to a 9-star, maybe 10-star hero this time. He's a cool hero and all. The downside is building these new heroes is next to impossible unless you've been playing for a while or something like that. Like, if you're a newer player coming in, you're like, oh my god, I saw an ad, Norton Hague is a new hero, I want to build him on a brand new account. You can't. You simply cannot. You see, we're on our way to our Garuda copy. We have 1 copy of her. I do have to get her our monster aura level up to 30, and then after that we can get the 10-star copy right here. But getting the monster leveled up isn't an easy task either. We are still at level 23. We need to get this to level 30. So there are a couple things that I am going to be doing. One of them is the Brave Trial story. It actually sells those monster materials. Grabbing something like this early on might not be the worst idea. And I will say, technically there aren't any events like this right now, are there? No. We got some free things we can grab, which I guess are some good resources. But some of these events have resources that do give monster materials. Actually might be a good idea to do it. Granted, it's so hard taking those types of chests over things like Stellar Shards and stuff, because it's like, you're just going to need them so much faster. We have a lot of these random chests now, which, like this one too, we get to choose our reward and we have 60 of them. I feel like there's no way I'm taking Chaos Stones over something like Stellar Shards for the future. However, if I'm looking for instant gratification and I'm trying to get progression, I might actually go for the Chaos Stones, because that's actually unlocking a lot of our power progression here. It takes about 200 plus per level, so 7 of them. We need about 2,000 more of these Chaos Stones, which would be 8 of these, 10, 20, about 25 of these 62 chests, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because if we actually calculate this, if we take these 62 times 2,500, these are only worth like 155,000 of each, which isn't a ton when you've already got this much, and we should be getting more from the bigger events. Like, I imagine at Christmas time with the scrolls we get and everything, we should get another 2.5 million Stellar Shards. So saving these chests for that might not be the biggest issue, but again, it just seems like back in the day you used to get stuff every single week. Now, again, we have things like Sky Labyrinth that we're going to have to do this week. We're going to have to spend some gems. We should get a 5-star hero chest that will help out doing things like this right here. The mysterious chest event. This is going to give us a glory chest, which, oh no, it actually doesn't. Wait a minute. Does that also mean that this chest up here doesn't have it yet? Oh my gosh, it's not gonna have it till probably like Christmas. So that means there's like no way to farm these new heroes at this point, which I guess this is the downside. I should have waited until Christmas to start a new account. I feel like I jumped the gun, but I was like, I want to make sure I have gems. I want to try to have some contract starry gems. However, I don't even know if we're to our first free one yet. We're almost there. But even then, you retire it. You're probably going to retire it for like what? 10? So it's like, the troubles and the struggles of early game are so weird. Never would I have thought free-to-play early game accounts would be getting cores, sublimation, stellar shards, crystals of transcendence. Now we are, which you would think mentally that's a really good thing, but then it just comes out that it's a really bad thing because I just can't do anything on this account. Progression in the early game is like a huge halt right now because I guess number one, we could have gone for someone like Eloise, and we could have gone for Eloise on Christmas, which again, maybe we should do that instead because this Norton Hague account is not panning out. As much as I want it to be like a full run, there's just not enough content nowadays as a free-to-play to make stuff. Remember back in the day, we started every Christmas and every like anniversary, we started free-to-play. There was something to talk about every single day on the account, and you saw meaningful progression throughout the first 2 months, almost on a daily basis. This time of year, and this is what the average player is feeling, you're not getting any progression whatsoever unless you're somehow going all in on a Garuda that they're kind of force feeding you. But that's not a very good idea to do as a new player. So let me know what you guys think. Have you guys started a brand new account anytime recently? And what is your feeling about it? Because I've noticed I've jumped around a couple guilds now. There's most of these guilds are people just, I mean, they drop the game fast, and I can understand why, because the summoning system in Idle Heroes is honestly very lacking in what they give free to players. Like 2,000 scrolls is just a crazy high amount. If you're not giving away 400 to 500 every single event, like it just doesn't match up with the gacha games that are out there anymore. And I think like spenders are staying with the game and everything, but I think the worst part about Idle Heroes right now is the early game free-to-play experience. Even the late game free-to-play experience isn't all that bad. You can save up for events, you get some good rewards, you cash in your saved resources, and it feels rewarding. But early game, my goodness, does it feel so bad nowadays, not even be able to build your first E5 hero. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'd love to hear your feedback down below in the comments, so do that right now. And I'll see you guys next time.